Welcome back, tribe. This is where I left you at our last video. It is the official end of the Quartzsite season for me. And today, we're going to pick up where we left off with the official beginning of our Route 66 travel season. Glad to have you along. Now, this is not all going to be exclusively Route 66. There will be some deviations from the route. But it's the opportunity to spend more time looking at things more deeply, maybe doing some exploring, maybe doing some hanging out. Come on along, let's see where we end up today. Well, I can tell you the end point will be Kingman, but you want to come along for the ride. And thanks for being here. We'll see you on the other side of the intro.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls us, roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Everybody seems to think it's 78 degrees. Today is Thursday, April 16th. And we are heading north. We are beginning our Route 66 journey today. So super excited about that. And yeah, I am really excited about seeing new things, having new experiences, and learning from them. I hope we're excited about coming along. And I'm not sure which intro I'm going to use for this video. I started filming while we were still in the LTVA, but I might let that stand alone as the end of the Quartzsite season, and this is the beginning of the travel season. Not the most beautiful day to get busy traveling. There's a heavy wind advisory starting at 11 o'clock this morning in Kingman, which is what our destination is for today. Still a number of people out here. Is this High Jolly or Plumosa? I think this is High Jolly. Yeah. 14-day LTVA, but as happens in so many places, many people stay there much longer than 14 days. I would encourage you to not overstay your welcome. And in fact, when I was talking to the guys at the LTVA booth in South as I was leaving, I said, yeah, I kind of lost track of the fact that I should have been out yesterday. All I was thinking about was that it was April 15th, tax day, and I wanted to get my taxes finished up before I left town. So I did. Taxes are done, they got filed, they got accepted by the IRS, and I have, feels like freedom. Feels like freedom, guys. At this point, I have 8 videos scheduled ahead, and moving into this travel season, my plan is to be 2 to 3 weeks behind max in terms of real time. So you'll be seeing stuff a whole lot closer to real time. Now, I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to handle that yet, because right now in what is scheduled ahead, I am only just coming into the beginning of the Quartzsite season. And I've done a Quartzsite errands day that will come out in that batch, so I may just kind of like stop there. I might do 1 or 2 more videos from the Quartzsite season, and then sprinkle in the rest later on. As in, you know, I've got some more cooking videos, I've got some more tips and tricks and stuff like that. So that might just all come in between other things, especially if I have a gap in what I want to be publishing. So, yeah, we'll see how that works out. But my goal is to stay 2 to 3 weeks within real time. And why not more? Why not closer to real time? A couple of different reasons. One of them is safety. I really don't want people that I don't know, not you of course, but you know, people I don't know, that are just randomly watching one video on YouTube, knowing exactly where I am when I'm there. It's not safe. And another reason is, in order to be able to maintain my publishing schedule, that would mean that I would have to be working every single day. And You know, it's funny, I don't really think about filming as work because I just do it automatically now. But the editing, the rendering, the uploading, the splicing everything together, all of that stuff takes a lot of effort. There are a number of people still out on Formosa too. But again, that's 14-day BLM, so they could just be passing through. So what else? Those are the two biggest reasons. I want to protect some time off, and I want to protect my safety. So 2 to 3 weeks out. And then that way, if I'm scheduled 2 to 3 weeks out, and heaven forbid I get a cold, I don't feel like working, I get really involved in hanging out with some people, and I don't feel like working, then I've got some cushion to be able to take that break. So those are the reasons. And this is US 95 North, which you have seen before. We've been to Parker several times this season. Been to Havasu a couple of times this season as well. So I think we're going to leave you here for the moment, and I'll pick you up if we see something really interesting. Or, heaven forbid, I think of something that I think is worth sharing with you. Welcome to Parker. So Parker is the first town we come to north of Quartzsite on US 95. And the first thing you see in Parker is the Chevrolet dealer on the right and the Running Man fuel station on the left, where regular is $4.30 a gallon. I'm not looking forward to the fuel prices this summer. It's going to, I think it's going to help me to move more slowly than I typically would, and hold my nose at the gas pump every single time. So we still have 47 miles to get to Lake Havasu, where we're going to stop at the Walmart. And up until this year, I have not spent a whole lot of time exploring Parker beyond going to the Walmart, which will be up here, or the casino. And we typically go to the casino for Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner. That's the Blue Water Casino. And since I've had Kit this year, so 2025, we came up here. Here's the other RV boondocks right here. I guess I could have stopped there and gotten water, but whatever. 2025, I came up here for Christmas and Thanksgiving. 2024, I was in Florida. 2023, I don't remember what I did, because I would have had Kit then.
At the next light, turn right.
But at any rate, Jim and I came up here. Whoa, dude! The heck did he think he was doing?
At the light, turn right onto Arizona 95 North, West Riverside Drive.
And I've got the volume turned way up because I'm listening to an audiobook while I'm driving. So Jim and I came up here and went out to Parker Dam. That was pretty fun. Did some exploring. I'll try and remember to put a link to that video here for you. There is a hospital in Parker, so that's good to know. And the Walmart's up here on the left. It's not the biggest Walmart ever, but it's adequate. And so it's faster to come to Parker than it is to go to Yuma. But I prefer going to Yuma because Yuma has everything. It's got Walmart, it's got Sam's Club, it's got PetSmart. I can go down and do all the things. spend the night, and then come back up to Quartzsite. I mean, I can do it in one day, but why would I? You see Walmart up here on the left, and then directly across the street from Walmart beyond McDonald's and Taco Bell is a Safeway. So between the two, you can do an adequate grocery resupply here. And for example, if we were coming up to go to the casino, I would do my resupply here. But other than that, for the most part, I'd go down to Yuma. Here's the other Running Man fuel at this end of town. And now you've seen pretty much everything there is to see of Parker except the casinos, which is going to be over here on the left. And it is located on the Colorado River. So it's quite pretty. And there are, the casino has riverfront boondocking sites, which I think are $15 a night. But you can also overnight park for up to a week in their parking lot for free. You have to go in and register at the casino, but you can stay for up to a week. It's a very, very unlevel parking lot, though. So be prepared to need to love it. All right, and that's going to be it for Parker. 44 miles to our Walmart destination. We'll see you there, unless we've got something else to see along the way. I think it's worth pointing out how the landscape has changed in just a relatively few miles. We're still 36 miles from our Walmart, but there's the Colorado River over there on our left. And look at how the hills are rising up around us. Isn't that beautiful? All the different colors. I love this area. And you know, quite a few of my friends come up here and camp during the season. I've never done that. Maybe I will next year. I say next year, I mean later this year. Next season. It's kind of funny to me that we think of, you know, saying goodbye to the winter season in 2026. It's next season, it's not next year. When I come back in probably early November. Yeah, beautiful. Just look at it. And my intention in this travel season is to really take my time and explore a lot of different things. So, I want to get a new travel book for this year. I can do passport stamps from my Route 66 stops and put stickers in and stuff like that. And keep up with it this year. I haven't finished last travel season's book yet. All of my stickers, many of my stickers are still waiting to be affixed. But at least they're pretty much in order. It's the beautiful Colorado River. I'm hoping we find some epic places to be able to camp this year. I imagine we will do a fair amount of tar docking as well. My intention tonight is tar docking at a distillery. Welcome to Lake Havasu. That's the Colorado River out there in the distance ahead of us. We've just passed Sarah Park on the left. I've stayed there before for an Escapees, Escapers Convergence, actually annual bash, which was pretty fun. I was going to go this year and ended up not, and I don't recall exactly why that is. So we're still quite on the outskirts of Lake Havasu. And in fact, we've got 13 miles to our Walmart, so I guess it's on the other side of Lake Havasu. But Lake Havasu is the home of the London Bridge. That's right, the London Bridge. The one that fell down. And we are still 6 miles away from it. So the original intent with Lake Havasu was that it was going to become a jewel in the desert like Las Vegas. Hasn't quite reached that status. But every time I come through here, it does seem to have sprawled a bit more. And I do enjoy the view of the Colorado River. And in fact, last year, well, a week earlier than this, I had been up at Bullhead City on Colorado River in the Nevada State Park there. And I think I ended up spending a little over 2 weeks there at 2 different times. I went up thinking that I was starting my summer travels, and then I ended up having to go back to Quartzsite to get my awning fixed. And then I went back up again. Now there's a Maverick. I could probably get gas. I get water there. 424. So or 414. All right. So I think prices are relatively the same as they were in Parker. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit less in Kingman. I didn't actually look. I intended to. Oh, it must be a big shopping center because it says we're turning in 1.5 miles on the Shops Boulevard. Oh, look up here to the left. It looks like we've got another big shopping area coming up. Yeah, I can see a Home Depot sign. All right, so interesting. It might be worth spending some time around Lake Havasu in the winter as well, because it appears, well, there's no Sam's Club. You gotta go to Bullhead City for that. But otherwise, it appears that there's plenty of shopping and infrastructure. Haven't seen a PetSmart yet. We're gonna change lanes so that we don't have to struggle to do that. Big RV dealer there. Retail center. Wow. I can see Walmart Blue up there to the left. Must be the next traffic light. Oh, there's a Dillard's. Pennies. Oh, there's a PetSmart. Beals.
In 1,000 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left into the parking lot.
Altitude, JC Penney. Wow, there's a lot here.
At the light, turn left into the parking lot.
Oh, and a Dollar Tree. First thing we're going to do is park in front of Walmart. Make some breakfast. I wonder if it would do any good to walk into a T-Mobile store. I turned in my router by mail, and they keep claiming they did not receive it. And now they're trying to charge me a couple $100 extra. I think we'll go right over here by the cart rack. All right, we're going to go ahead and get parked and make breakfast. We have been at the Walmart parking lot for hours now. It is 10 minutes of 2. And, you know, it takes a while. I had to make breakfast, so I cooked, I cleaned, then I walked over to the T-Mobile store. And as I suspected, they were no help at all. Went to Walmart, took my time doing all my shopping today. Because why not? And then I put most of the stuff away. And the other thing that I do when I come back from a shopping trip, typically, and I did it this time, is I repackage all of my vegetables and stuff to get rid of as much of the bulk packaging as I can. And so, got rid of all the trash. I got a new rug for by my bed.
We'll use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
But I have a feeling it's going to be very dangerous. It's kind of quite slippery.
At the light.
So I'm going to see if I can put a piece of the, you know, rubber matting that you use for shelf liner. See if that stops it from sliding around too much. Otherwise, I may not be able to keep it. But it was only $3, so. Or it might fit in the bathroom. We'll find out. Anyway, that stuff's all done. So we have a little over an hour to go, 62 miles to our next destination, which will be in Kingman at the Desert Diamond Distillery. And I think they've changed location from their original location, but I'm not positive. I might recognize it when I pull up there. We'll see. It's a little bit of a funny choice for me because it was actually the place at which my ex and I had our last vacation together. We stayed there for a week in a travel trailer that we had only purchased like 2 months before we went there because he was doing a distillery learning class that was a week long, and I basically stayed in the RV and worked all that time. That was back in 2011. Wow, more than 25 years ago. No, 15 years ago. My bad. 25 years ago would be really funny. So we have 61 miles to go, just a little bit over an hour. Looks like we're going to have some nice views coming up through the mountains here again. So I'll try and pick some of that up for you. And now how does London Bridge Road get over here? Does it go all the way around? Huh. Maybe it does. So it looks like we're now leaving Lake Havasu based on the sign on the left-hand side we just passed. So what I tried this time, I'm trying vacuum sealing my bulkheads of grenade. And I went ahead and cut one up and put it in a glass jar. Because I'm planning to have a salad tonight. And I think I'm going to just make my salad in the jar. Should be okay. And I'm also wondering whether or not I'm going to hit up the Grand Canyon on this trip. I think I probably will because it's not too big a detour. And I don't think I've been to the Grand Canyon in more than 10 years. I think the last time I went to the Grand Canyon was in 2015. Look at that beautiful view. Just look at it. And all the pretty colors. We're definitely going to have some national parks coming up in the next couple of weeks, because we'll have Painted Desert and what's the other one? Petrified Forest. Grand Canyon, I'm pretty sure. This looks like a giant storage facility on the right-hand side. A fairly busy truck stop. Yeah, Dave's Boat and RV storage. Look, there's our first sign for the Grand Canyon.
Turn right onto the I-40 East Rail.
I was hoping we were going to be able to get a piece of the frontage road. Yeah, I was hoping there would be like a parallel frontage road, 66, that we could take into Kingman, but doesn't look like it. But we're going to try and catch as many of those as we can. And the biggest stretches of uninterrupted Route 66 are in Arizona. But here we are on the freeway, and you know what I say. If you've seen one freeway, you've seen them all. Eastbound I-40 through Kingman, 3-minute delay. Hopefully we get off before that's a problem. See the giant golf ball on the right? I can't remember what it started out as, but then it became a real estate office. Oh, now there's somebody parked there. Because I understand it being completely closed up. Now it's a restaurant. Huh. Imagine that. We got a Pilot Flying J over here. Interesting how things change. Off to the left is our first Route 66 sign. Mojave County, Arizona, Route 66, next exit. We're gonna do it. And then we're gonna have to listen to Google complain at us. But that's okay. I think we should pick up our first piece of Route 66. Look at the beautiful vistas and all the greenery. And the temperature's down to 81. We're going to get off here, but all the signs have been for Oatman. So if there isn't a sign for Kingman, we're going to have to get back on. We already know we can't go to Oatman.
Head toward historic Route 66. Continue for half a mile.
The problem with Oatman is that the road is too narrow and steep for... Oh good, can't go this way. There's an historic 66 sign, opens to the left. But we're going to go this way. See the sign?
Head toward South Railroad Frontage Road, then turn left to stay on Historic Route 66.
Yes, we will.
Turn left to stay on Historic Route 66.
Okay, so we're 5 miles from Andy Devine Boulevard, so that'll be fine. The road will likely be a little rougher. It adds to the experience. And even this building on the right, that gas station is semi-reminiscent of what it would have been like to travel Route 66 in the 50s and 60s. All the roadside businesses, some of them big, some of them small. Look at the yellow bus up on top of the salvage yard sign. Very cool. Dan's Auto Salvage. Truck bath, truck wash. I guess I could do it myself, but no thank you. And this is what I plan to do as much of as I possibly can, is stay on the original alignments rather than the freeway. And it'll be hard to pick out what's original because the mother road existed for such a period of time that, you know, we're talking 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even into the 70s, 80s in some places. So even things from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s look old by today's standards. Except that exit, it says the freeway is closed. And that exit coming up, it's a little sign back there. And imagine what this would be like if you were coming out during the Dust Bowl days. You were leaving everything you knew behind and bringing only what you carried with you in your vehicle. And everything is new and different, and all of the tension and stress and worry of, is it really going to be okay once you get to the promised land of California? And of course, as so many people found, not so okay. Other people found that it really was. Just depends. Look at this beautiful view. Yeah, I think we're going to have a good summer together. What do you think? I know this first video is not going to be all that scintillating, but you got to start somewhere, right? Today is the day, and this is the place. And part of what I learned is to take pleasure in even the smallest of experiences. I mean, for me, just knowing that, you know, this is part of the original Route 66 alignment, what they're going to look at. Bunch of rocks. Beautiful rocks, though. Railroad off to our right over here. We've been watching that quite a bit. Look at that, we're in the Kingman city limits. Does it feel like a city to you? And of course, think that might have been part of the original alignment I just saw down there. Part of what I think is true, although I'm not sure that it's true, is certainly during the 30s, I believe the vast majority of the traffic was heading east to west, and in the 50s and 60s, it was all about becoming America's road. And so traffic flowing in both directions. And the Route 66 song.
At the next stop sign, turn right. At the stop sign, turn right onto West Andy Divine Avenue.
Let's turn the volume down a little bit for you guys. There's the Mojave Museum over there to our left of history and art. We're going to do all of the tourist type stuff, well, some of the tourist type stuff tomorrow. For today, I just want to go ahead and get to our destination and then kind of get set up for tomorrow. There's the visitor center. We're going to go there tomorrow. Route 66 Kingman. You can put your car in the sign. I wonder how close I could get my front end to the sign. If there's enough room for me to be able to pull around like that. ExploreKingman.com. The railroad station on the right. Got your water tower. So, part of what's going to be different about this year, sorry Barb, is I am committed to doing some backtracking. Like, we're going to be backtracking today because I didn't want to go out of my way. There's the Hive 5 Meadery, which is also a RV overnights location. But people said if you got a problem with the train noise, that's not a great place to stay. So I decided to go to the distillery tonight instead. But I might do the Hive 5 tomorrow. Old school Ramblin' Rose Motel on the left. What's that, probably 50s? Maybe 60s? Down to 76 degrees here. That's pleasant. Oh, Kingman puts up the veterans honorary flags on their poles. That's nice. El Travator Motel looks old school. Oh yeah. World's longest Route 66 map, it claims. And the Hilltop Hotel claims the best view in Kingman. Motel. Hualapai Mountain Park. We're going to head out that way to spend a few days, I think, when we've done everything else we want to do around town here. So there won't be a lot of backtracking involved, but there will be some. Kingman's Landmark Steakhouse. Rutherford's Route 66 Family Diner. Look at that part on the left with its Route 66 sign. For a moment I thought it was an RV park. No, there's just an RV parking there. A couple RVs parked here. But I think it's just a day use park. Look at the wind. See the trees whipping around. So the place we're going is out by the airport. But my plan is to see all of the old Route 66 stuff around town between tomorrow and the next day. My real plan is to start the day off at Planet Fitness with a workout and a shower. I think my workout might be fairly inadequate compared to what I used to be able to do, but you gotta start somewhere. And that's my plan. Oh, here we're coming back around to the freeway. Joshua Tree, Route 66 Motel. That one looks pretty old school too. Ramp closed ahead. Well, there was a sign that said the freeway was closed. They must be doing construction or something. So I'll have to be singing the Route 66 song backwards in my head. Huh. Wonder if I can learn that. So it's Arizona 66, not just US 66. So we're going all the way out by the airport tonight. Yeah, there's a Blue Beacon truck wash. And it only has one bay. I don't ever plan to go to another Blue Beacon. I went to the one outside of Portland last year. And I thought it was pretty expensive for a pretty crappy job. And they only have one lane. I like Little Sisters because they have 2 or 3 lanes open almost all the time. Yeah, we got a Harbor Freight and an Ashley Outlet, and a Cow Ranch, and a Bausche's. That's a big shopping center. So we can already tell I did not plan this all that well, since we're driving all the way through town to get to our destination for the evening, and then we have to go all the way back. Should I stop here at the Maverick and get water? I think I will. Look and see if they've got any water at least. 409 here, not terrible. We don't need fuel yet, thank heaven. Let's see if we can find a water pump here. Easy does it, kid. We're just looking for water. This is not a Maverick's Adventure. No water there. What are you doing, dude? No water. Nope. Can I get out of here the way that I came in? Not have that big intersection. Let's go take a look. Boy, that's an old school ambulance that I guess he converted. I know.
300 feet, merge onto Arizona 66 East, East Candy Divine Avenue.
Yeah, this is easier than trying to make a left turn on whatever that street was. So the big Maverick adventures usually have water. But that was a regular size one, so not there. I think we've probably seen everything that's worth seeing Route 66 related. So perhaps I'll just pick you up when we get to our destination in about 5 miles. Although, look at that big pile of trash over there. We just passed a sign that said no services next 100 miles. So I probably will fill up in Kingman after I'm finished tomorrow. Kind of makes me wonder where the RV park was that we stayed in. Of course, I'm not sure that they were out here when we came in 2011. I think they might have been in a different location. And I may or may not recognize it when we pull up there. That was a long time ago. My only other time in Kingman was a couple of years before that. I think before that, might have been a year or two after. No, would have been before that. When my ex thought he wanted to move here. He developed a number of interesting ideas. The one that I still find amusing is, I think it was 2006. He wanted to sell our 3,600 square foot house and everything we owned and go back east to Maryland so that he could go to Johns Hopkins University and get his PhD. And I acquiesced. I told him we could do that if that's what he wanted to do. But as it turned out, we managed to sell most of our possessions, but couldn't get the house sold. And without being able to sell the house, we couldn't afford to do what he wanted to. So that was the first time I lived without having much, became a much more a minimalist. And then after we split up and I decided I was going to sell the house, I did the same thing. I sold everything that was in it. And in fact, part of my decision was I sold everything that we had accumulated together so that I was starting over completely fresh. And that in itself was quite freeing. And I still had a hard time getting the house sold, and I was real estate broker. But I did finally get it done. Okay, I wonder where they want us to park.
Turn left into the parking lot. Then your destination will be on the right.
It's okay, kid. Alright, I guess we're going to figure this out. Got a pizza place here. Maybe I won't be cooking dinner. Alright, let me figure this out and I'll get back to you. Okay, I got the goods. It feels like it weighs about 4 pounds. So hopefully I don't eat the whole thing tonight. So we had a lovely time in the distillery. And now we've got a big old batch of spaghetti bolognese. And we got a shot glass as a souvenir. So pretty happy with today's excursion. But I'm going to need to get much more focused on not spending money moving forward. We're going to get back to the RV. We're going to see how the Kitster's doing. And then we're going to sit down and eat some dinner, watch some TV, and then figure out what tomorrow looks like. They did say I could stay here another night if I want to. I'm pretty sure I won't want to. But we'll see. There's Henry. I'm going to let you see just how excited Kit gets when I walk back in. There he is in his seat. Hi. 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 How are you? Are you good? Are you good? You okay? Did you have a good time while I was gone? Did you? Did you have a good time? Thanks for being here. This is where we're going to leave you at the end of our first day of Route 66. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to the journey too? We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Sally forth, no need for goodbye.